it's kind of about building up that resilience in your hair and knowing how to look after it, so you don't need to keep stripping it of its natural oils, which is what can cause a lot of frizz and damage, especially to curly hair. And I used to be kind of like, oh my god, I only wash my hair once a week. People are gonna, I guess, judge me for that. But it works for me. I feel quite lucky about that because I know some people wash their hair every day. I think even if you don't have curly hair, it could be something interesting to look into, just to see maybe any of it could benefit your hair type. Because I think it's like, you know, in life at the moment, I feel like everybody washes their hair a lot. There's a lot of expectation to wash your hair a lot, to keep it really, really clean and stuff like that. But I feel like that's probably causing more negative things than we think. And I think it's okay to let your hair breathe for a minute. But yeah, so that's what I do. Next is styling. I use a few different products. I'll show you my favourite ones, and then I'll show you ones that are good but I don't use much. much washed out.